Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. I have kind of a two-part here. In this one I am making burgers right now. This will be burgers for 2 days. I think my husband is cooking the brats that I also prepared this day. And those will be lunch for the next day. But these are burgers and I'm making two separate batches. I'm going to have one that is plain meat. My husband only likes meat and my daughter likes them well done. So I just made one batch that were meat and well done. Um, and then I made a second batch with seasoning because I like my burgers to have some seasoning. And let's see, that's kind of the gist of what's going on here as I go into and kind of talk with you a little bit. So if you are new to my channel, I really think this is not the video to start with. I think it might be a little confusing. It is going to be raw, and I know everybody loves a good raw video, but it's going to be confusing if you don't understand the backstory, in my humble opinion. So, with that being said, if you choose to, go on, that's fine, but it might be easier to watch some of the older videos. For returning subscribers, I have been asked a few times, am I going to go back to filming any money management Monday videos? And the gist of it is I haven't really figured out how to film those. The thing about YouTube, and especially my channel, is I work really, really hard to be authentic. That is, I don't want to give one persona online and a different persona, or somebody, the people in my life know the real me. What you see is what you get. That has always been my motto. I even kind of brought that to the table with my job. To kind of understand my personality for the clients. I told her, it's like, what you see is what you get. I don't have time to try to remember what character I am or who I am. It's not easy to play a fake personality, and it's too much work. And sometimes that means you don't know how to share something. And it's not because you're trying to hide anything. I don't know how to share it. So it's kind of led up into this money management of where I really want to share with you things, but at this stage of my life, I'm really trying to figure out what I am even learning. In Indiana, I worked to supplement the income. It wasn't so much dependent. It was, but it wasn't, because there was a weekly food pantry that would really help. There was, times of plentiful for my husband, and then we could work on that. And honestly, I was able to get YouTube videos out more, and so that helped. I mean, there were all these things that really helped, but in the end, the bottom line of it, yes, I did need to kind of work to supplement the income, but in the end, I could set my own hours and I could make it work best for our family. Moving up here and needing to have a job and not really being able to say, okay, I am available these days, and doing that, setting my own hours and whatever, I just don't have that anymore. I have I can give you this many hours, and of course I'm like, I need it, I'll take it. And I have to show up, and I have to, figure out how to do this while still serving my family, and I already did a video on that. And I'm not going to go into some of the other comments that were, well, why don't you do this and why don't you do that? I'll address that in another video. I'm strictly sticking to money management topic right now. So with this job and kind of trying to learn to live in a larger city, which means larger city expenses, And the mental energy of having to work and then turn that off and turn on the other side of being a wife and mother and turning that on, whether it's conversation, whether it's application in whatever way, a walk with my son, making dinner with my daughter, whatever it is, I still have to turn off work, and that isn't always easy. I'm a very empathetic person, and that's what makes me do well with my job, working with the elderly. But it does mean that it's really hard not to bring home their stories and their struggles and their all of that and not have that weigh on you. And so there's a lot that, you just have to work with here, and kind of taking all of that and then taking it into an aspect of, okay, now I need to learn how to do the money management side of this. It's really difficult. And to be honest, I just haven't had that mental energy to be able to uh, really get back to the things that I've done. And this is kind of where I was trying to share at one point of being authentic with you all and being real and the balance therein. And the reality here is that ever since getting a job and um, trying to balance all of these plates and these not even masks, that kind of implies like a fakeness, but all these hats that I'm wearing right now, money management has kind of dropped to the bottom of it. And is that really good? Absolutely not. And this is where it goes back to being real. I don't want to discourage anyone that is working on it right now, but to be honest, I am not doing really well at all. And where I just know that, okay, I need to keep groceries at a minimum. I don't even know what we're spending right now, as long as we don't go into the negative at the end of the month. That's all I care. But it is not a wise use of your money. It's not, it's kind of like coming home and just dealing with things that need to be done. Okay, we always have clean laundry, but that doesn't mean that, the laundry is all being done and it's all going well. Like, there isn't no method there. It's like saying, okay, the bathroom needs cleaning and it's done, bare minimum once a day, once a week, whatever it is. Like, that is not a good way to live your life. We're kind of living paycheck to paycheck, and it's it's just not a good way to live. I can keep finding different ways basically to say the same old thing. And we need to kind of be thinking about different financial things. And to be honest, I just told my husband I don't have the mental capacity for that right now. So, it's really hard to kind of be in that mental place and then turn around, go on YouTube and say, okay, you guys need to be doing this, this, and this. And you guys know me. I don't really say that. I kind of go in and I say, I think this is a great way to do things, and I think this has shown that this is great, and blah 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 blah. Well, I'm not. It would come off as like not doing what I'm trying to teach people to do. And so I hope that kind of helps understand like where I'm coming from and why I haven't filmed any videos. I do have some really good ideas that I'm working on in my head. I have found some books that I'm kind of going over. I guess I guess in the end, the best way to describe this is I am burnt out. I am mentally, physically, even spiritually, and emotionally burnt out. And I don't know how to make a really good and worthwhile video for money management right now because it feels fake. I'm not doing a good job. I am just surviving. And to be honest, I have so much more appreciation for um, the the mothers and wives out there that don't want to be working, but because we're put in some circumstances that are kind of in that place. And you always have empathy for them, and pray that God will kind of relieve some of that and be with them and whatever it is. But now I have a sympathy for them, a sympathy that says, I get it, and this stinks, and I'm so sorry. Um, it just, that's kind of where I am. I don't know how to make a video right now until I can put myself in a better place, and I don't know when that will be. I've hit 90 days at this point for my work, which is wonderful because then I could take some time off. And I'm going to take a week off and just kind of regroup myself. And I don't want to say try to find myself. I think that's overused, but kind of just breathe a little bit and enjoy being a mom again, and enjoy having time to talk with my husband and not look at the clock wondering, okay, can we push this a little bit longer? I look forward to that a lot, and that's kind of where I'm hoping we can go from there and figure things out. But Money Management Monday videos just may be on hold for a little bit, and I hope and pray you'll bear with me on this.
Hello everyone. Today is one of my days off, and it's looking like next week is going to be crazy, so I wanted to utilize today to kind of do some meal prep. I really wanted to get some cleaning done, but I have kind of delegated that to the children. It's not the way I want it cleaned, but it will get cleaned, and I'm just going with that right now. Anyway, let's kind of talk about what's going on here. So first of all, I made some taco meat. This is what's going to be for dinner. We're just going to do this. And if you are like, well, wait a minute, usually you do like one meal 2 days in a row. Well, if you think about it, that's 6 days with 1 day off. So this is going to be my day off. I do have Saturday and Sunday off. And so, so far. And so I will also be kind of trying to use that to get caught up on some business stuff that I need done, editing my little book business that I've got. I'm way behind on that right now. Anyway, so I will kind of focus more on getting meals prepped then, but this will be for dinner tonight, all of that to say. We found a local community garden in our area, and so this was what is available. They asked us not to pick. Somebody that is kind of in charge of it basically takes care of it and then puts it out for us to go in and grab it. So we took some lettuce, and I took some lavender. And one of the things that I really want to do is make some lavender lemonade. That's so refreshing. Another project that I had today was really go through the produce that has kind of piled up and I haven't been able to get to, and get on that before I have to throw anything else out. I ended up having to throw away a 10-pound bag of potatoes because, once you get one that's really rotten, it corrupts the whole bag, unfortunately, and I just didn't think there was enough to salvage to make it worth my time, and honestly, the smell was horrendous, so I just wanted it out of the house. But that kind of spurred my, okay, that's it. I want to make sure this is getting taken care of. So, actually, that's a reminder to me. In the oven, I have some apples that needed to get used up. I cannot see what you're seeing. My camera is, I think, on its last leg, and certain pieces are no longer working. So now I have no idea to see what you're seeing. But using up all this produce, I took some sweet potatoes, and I'm just kind of getting those going here while the oven's on. It says cooler day, thankfully, but I don't want to heat the house up even on a cooler day. So, here are some sweet potatoes we've got. I took some apples. I think I was in the middle of saying that, and I did a huge thing of apple crisp in the oven. That used up about a group of apples that were kind of on the edge there. In the Instapot, I have, I don't know what you can see, but in the Instapot, I have more sweet potatoes. And the reason I said that is, you know, I will point what I can see to the sweet potatoes. However, in the camera, I have to like point like way off of where it is. If you see the Instapot, in there are sweet potatoes, and those are going to be mashed up. I was thinking of doing sweet potato fries on this, but like this one I kind of need to take care of. But I have made this sweet potato biscuit before, and it was really, really good. And I thought biscuits with some bacon and eggs, that would be really good to have. And my son can make the bacon, and my kids can make the eggs, and so I'll just make the biscuits. They probably could make the biscuits as well, but I'm just going to keep it simple. Sometimes it's better to have mom on hand for something like that, and I won't be. So that's kind of what I'm working on. Let me get started on those other mashed potatoes, other biscuits, other sweet potatoes to make biscuits. That's what I'm trying to say. We're going to get started on that. There is another 10 minutes in the oven for the apple crisp. I already know it's going to need longer than that. Those sweet potatoes that I've cooked up, I was going to kind of meal prep some lunch for tomorrow. And all I'm going to do is just take this kielbasa, you know, chop it up, and then put it on here, pop it in the oven for the last 10-15 minutes that the apple crisp needs to make. And there is a pretty basic, easy lunch for tomorrow. Yeah, what else? We did some school today, and we've kind of got a mess that needs to be cleaned up there. I have a kid taking his time on the computer, something I said I was never going to do, but you know, life changed so crazily, and I just haven't, just letting go of that. Anyway, here we go. We've got, like I said, produce that really needs to be used up. Again, I can't tell what you can see. I've got, this is food pantry, and I can kind of see this is going to need to be gone through. That one's going to need to be gone through, so let's get that out. We can work with that tonight. This one needs to be, okay, so we just need to kind of work on these cucumbers. I can dice them up for snacks. Oh yeah, let's get this going. These are, we wanted to have a chili cookout, and I'm not sure I'm going to get to that anytime soon. So these are jalapenos. We've got tomato and avocado. That will be for, what's in here? Oh, more. I have more avocados. So let's just get that going. Anyway, I'm getting off track here. We've just got stuff that needs to be used up and eaten up and cleaned out, mainly cleaned out. All right, so yeah, this is what I'm going to be focusing on. Oh, and I pulled this out. This is egg whites that need to be used up, so we'll make some waffles as well. So here you go. Here's kind of like my rambling thoughts. This is how I do stuff. You can say it's ADHD. I don't know. It's just life. You know, it's kind of, I don't label anything like that. I have stuff to do, a lot to do it. I can sit down and write, you know, a list. But sometimes I just do stuff like this. Like, okay, sweet potatoes in the oven. I've got 7 minutes before I got to put them in for 15. So we're going to start with this. After that's in the oven and I've got 15 minutes, then we'll start the mashed potatoes or mashed sweet potatoes and get started with, you know, the biscuits. And that's just how I roll. But yeah, let's get going. What I'm doing, it really doesn't know.
I deleted it. I can't.
Did you finish your other tea? hopefully you'll see what you see. It's all I can do. It's my best. So, my makeshift tripod. This is how I do life. Alright, I don't know what you're seeing. I can already tell that it's definitely not eye level. But whatever, we're working with this. We're just gonna work with this. And what was I gonna say? Like, I was like, hey, let's get in, let's talk about this. Oh, one of the other things that I really want to do is kind of see what we can do to kind of meal plan with what we have here and kind of save some money this week. I know I have to do some kind of grocery shopping because we're just out on a lot of things. What I was telling you earlier of like using up the produce and stuff, there were a couple onions that were rotten in the middle, and so they rotted from the inside out, and so I just chopped all of the onions up and put them in my freezer. And so what that's going to be is that's going to be stuff that I just start kind of like when the 3 Rivers Challenge happens in April, if I do things like this now to kind of prep us for those times later when you do like the no grocery stores or no spend or whatever. You know, I have a little bit of a stockpile that I've built up just on, you know, things now. I would have had to buy onions anyway here soon, but now I just got a little bit left to put in the freezer for that time period. And like, here's some sweet potatoes here. I can, you know, I already know that this is going to be more than what I need for biscuits. And so what I can do then is just make a batch of muffins and pop them in the freezer. And that's, again, something else that will help me later on. Could probably even do it with biscuits, but sometimes muffins are just better to have on hand. They're just a little bit easier. I don't know. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. Alright, so actually I'm just going to jump right in and get this going. You can use sweet potatoes instead of pumpkin. And so if I say like I'm making pumpkin muffins or I'm making muffins, I just do my pumpkin recipe. Oh, that was fine. I just do my pumpkin recipe and just use the sweet potatoes instead. You can do the same for the bread. You can do the same for whatever it is. Carrot is supposedly the same, but I've yet to have enough carrots to try that with. However, carrot cake right now sounds really, really good. Oh, that sounds good. I have carrots in there. I made the apple crisp. I don't need it. Alright, the timer is about to go off in 8 seconds, and that is actually the Instapot, not my timer. But in those 8 minutes or whatever, I got the kielbasa cut, I got the sweet potatoes ready for biscuits, and I got sweet potatoes in the Instapot. So whatever it was, 7-8 minutes. This isn't too hot, I can touch that. I was able to accomplish few more things, and now let's get started on these biscuits. Okay, so I heard about these sweet potato biscuits on that sweet potato package, but what they do is they take you to a website, and this is the Free Range Life sweet potato biscuits, and this is the recipe that I'm going to use, and I will probably double it. It doesn't tell me how many it makes, or if it did, I completely missed it. But I want to say that when I made this last time, it needed a double batch for our family. This is my 2-cup thing. teaspoon of salt. The only salt I have right now is right in this thing, so this is what we're going to use. 3 teaspoons of baking powder. Okay, so
Can I have a biscuit?
they're not done yet. That crisp needs to actually crisp up. It does not look crispy at all. So while the oven is heating up to the 425 that I need for the biscuits, it can finish cooking and hopefully crisp up a little bit. The apples feel pretty done. But now I'm gonna deal with this because it did drive me cray cray. That's what we're gonna do next. Yeah. We're gonna get this dishes done. crisped up, so very glad I did that. Okay, I'm not quite ready to get started on the sweet potato muffins, but those would be like the last thing that I would need to kind of go into the oven. And I'm kind of debating if I want to even do sweet potato muffins, because the way my kids really like it is the way that I grew up with that, and that was butterscotch chips. That was kind of like, you do not have pumpkin muffins without the butterscotch chips. And I don't have any. But I do have the stuff to make like pumpkin bread. So I could do that. I just don't know if I don't want the oven on for an hour and a half. That's what it is. So I'm not going to. Yeah, the more I think about it, I'm like, yeah, no, I don't want the oven on. I mean, it's very rare that our house gets below 80 at all, even though it's a nice day today. It's 80 in here, but it's 80 without the cooler on. So it's cooler. And we have our doors open and we have the windows open and all of that. Okay. So I kind of need to recalibrate here. What I think I'm going to do next is wash these knives. But I think what I'm going to do next is work on the cucumbers and get that just done. And then kind of wipe down this area here, and then use this to either start the the waffles, and get this egg whites used up. I think that's going to be the next project that I do. Alright, 6 minutes on the biscuits and 5 minutes on the sweet potatoes. So let's see how long it takes to chop up these, well, kind of go through and chop up these cucumbers. Well, it definitely took me longer than a lot of time, but I think the biscuits are a success because we've had some kids eat them. Got these cucumbers that can be snacking cucumbers, and then ones that I kind of had to clean out a little bit more. I just dice those up. I have some fresh basil in here. I have some basil growing in pots outside that I've kind of tucked away from view of the road, if y'all get my drift. And then, if you don't understand, I'm in a trailer park and they're trying to keep things nice and clean. So I just have some things tucked away. So anyway, there's some basil, there's some cucumbers, I have some feta cheese here, I have some antipasti olives, and I have a tomato. And we're just going to kind of make a little cucumber tomato salad here. Wow, this turned out really good. There's a lot of flavors that kind of burst at first because of the like antipasta olive thing, but then it's just like this really refreshing bite. So it should have like red onions in it, but I know my husband doesn't like that and I don't have any, so that worked out great. But there's tomatoes and cucumbers and basil, fresh basil, and feta cheese, and like 3 little tiny snacking peppers, and some salt, some white pepper, and a little bit of red wine vinegar, just a little bit. That is really good. Alright, let's get started on these waffles. This is our family's favorite, and I'm just going to make a double batch, and that will give me the rest of the egg whites. And now the true work begins. Making the waffles. The batter is the easiest part. And how did I get filled up so fast?
Did you tell her you were right here? Do you know Charlotte and Jen are both killer? And it was 600 guests and that's 6 month waiting list and it's way over my budget. Sorry, it's just what I have to deal with right now. I'm getting married back easy.
A few moments later.
All right, this took me about an hour and a half, and in that I got the salad cut up. I got some cheese grated. I got more dishes washed, rinsed, put away, dried, whatever. And this needs to go with that. And now, whatever ones are kind of cool, I'm just going to pop them in the freezer because we have eggs and bacon planned for this day. So, I'll let you know in a little bit what I'm going to do next, but we're going to have dinner first. I just realized I never finished out last night's video, so the only thing that I did after dinner was make a mac and cheese sauce for some noodles that we needed to use up in the fridge. And so there's some mac and cheese for a kid for lunch today. Use up leftovers in the fridge. That's kind of what lunch is. Or actually no, I did the soup potato. Whatever. There's food, and then we can have it for lunch tomorrow. Whatever it is. Anyway, we did that. We watched the presidential debate, and I went to bed because I have work. I think that's it. I mean, my daughter did the dishes. I have work all day today, so I won't be back in the kitchen until maybe day after tomorrow. I was able to contact somebody local that has a farm, and she's selling ground beef right now for $5 a pound. It's not organic, but it is grass-fed, grass-finished. The reason it's not organic is they spray the grass, but it's about what we're getting right now anywhere else. So, and then I can support somebody local. So I'll be getting that, and again at $5 a pound. That's about what I'm paying anywhere else right now, whether it's organic or not. And this will help a local farm. What else? I'll be picking that up tomorrow. So I got 20 pounds, and that should last us a little bit. That lasts about 10 meals basically for our family. So it doesn't go as far as you want it to, but it'll be nice to have. Alright, I need to get to work. Thank you so much for joining me today with everything, and I'll see you on the next one.